What we'd like to do in a next step is we'd like to welcome Ivonne Appleyard from Merck. She's a senior data domain and product owner at Merck. And she will talk about how data can be refined to data products and how these data products can help to really speed up decisions. And I think what she's going to share with us, and again, I'm very curious and looking forward to that, is how that can work in a structured way. So getting from data to data impact. So Ivonne, welcome on stage. Now you're on screen. A warm welcome. I'm happy that you're joining us here.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be part of your day and presentations, and hope I can give some insights in this. So basically, my name is Ivonne Appleyard, and I'm going to be talking about data products. Before I get started, I would like you all to think about data. Are you just a user of data? Are you creating data? And how easy is it for you in your organization or in your personal life to use the data for your purposes? Keep this in mind while we move on to the slides. And now, unfortunately, I need to work out how to click the slides.
It's a single click inside the tool, but I think you need the focus. So try again, please.
Here we are.
Now it's
Hopefully, I will get it going from here on. So I want to start with a little bit of a background about Merck before we go into data products and how they differ from just data, and then talk a little bit about what it actually takes to offer a data product. Okay. I am really not very good at this. Okay, so talking a little bit about Merck. Since you are in Germany, you probably have heard about Merck. What you may not know is that we, the oldest pharmaceutical and chemical company in the world. We were founded in 1668 by Friedrich Jakob Merck. And today we have over 62,000 employees globally. We have subsidiaries in 65 countries. And last year we generated over 21.2 billion in sales. Moving on again. Okay, so we really have three distinct business sectors. Healthcare, where we are leading pharma company focusing on prescription medicines to cure cancer, multiple sclerosis, and infertility, saving lives and bringing millions of babies into the world. In life science, we provide tools and services for biotech research, as well as laboratory supplies for academic research. And finally, in electronics, which is probably the least known sector where Merck is represented, we are actually a leading player for materials, which enables smaller, faster, and more energy efficient delivery of chips and small devices. So hopefully we've got the background of Merck. Now, coming back to my question, are you a user of data, collecting data for your projects, or are you actively creating and sharing valuable insights? Think of all the data that's created around us. Every time you log onto a website, or use your smartwatch, any sensors or lab equipment. Much of this data is not used. We are really swimming in an ocean of data. But here's the thing, it's not enough. The real question is, what are we doing with it? So let's think about the process to get just data into data products. So looking at the first picture, we really see a very messy desk with just information. It's the raw, unprocessed information that sits in our databases, spreadsheets, and our desks. So It's like having a desk full of scattered documents where you can never find the information, no organization, no catalog to help you with it. Going then to data products, that happens where you start organizing your data, you have high data quality, and users can easily find it and organize it. So basically going from just dumping to the data to better organization. So why do we need to do this, right? So why should we care? What's the difference? When we just dump our data, we're essentially saying, here it is, good luck figuring it out, right? You see the picture of the jigsaw, and we're not even providing the end user with a picture of what the end picture should look like. All the information is there, but you require significant effort to figure out how to make sense of it. On the other hand, when we provide data products, we're offering a structured, reliable, and accessible information. We're providing the context, relevance, and most important, usability. A data product doesn't just give you numbers and organization. It provides clean, trustworthy data that's ready for use. So let's talk about what does it take to offer a data product. At Merck, we have an ecosystem which allows us to handle data as a product and generate actionable insights through data analytics and AI. Taking you through the stages of what it actually takes. Let's kick it off with the first stage, data collection. This is where we gather the data from the various sources as data sets. This is here, the center. We start doing the groundwork. We need to carefully curate this raw data and turn it into something valuable. We are not just collecting the data, we're ensuring it's organized and structured properly. In Merck, we use the FIR principle, making data findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And that is really at the key of our governance processes and really helps our stakeholders so that they can find the information easily and leverage it for their needs. So after we've collected the initial data sets from the data sources, we focus on organizing that data. Here, data governance plays a key role. We have data stewards and data owners assigned for each data set that establish clear procedures for access and manage contract information like usage, rights, and licensing. This is especially important where PII is involved with customer employee data, or we often have commercially sensitive data as well. So the governance framework here, our data stewards and owners are really key in managing the framework. They are also responsible for establishing data quality metrics, standards to make sure that the accuracy, consistency, and relevancy of the data are being constantly monitored and ensured that any issues raised are addressed so that we have issue management system to manage this effectively. We then also enhance the data with metadata. We add extra context and information to make the data more understandable. How many times have you maybe seen a field from a data set called custom field 23 or SDCM? The majority of the users would not know this. You then have to go through data profiling to find out the content. So in this stage, we enrich the data with metadata. This provides the users the necessary information to make informed decisions. And then finally, we get to the data product. That's the final stage in making it consumable. So it should be well structured and user-friendly. So we work with end users and stakeholders who need the data. Data governance, again, plays a crucial role here, ensuring that the data products are aligned with organizational standards and best practices. Once we then have the data product, the next step and the key is to share it with users in our organization. For this in Merck, we have a central data catalog, which is available to everyone, where people can find any data product that has met all the standards and is released by the data owners and data stewards. They can also find how to access it, where to access it, and in some cases, or in many cases, request direct access to this. Another key thing about data products is really also that once you've launched the data product, you need to ensure that you engage with the end users to make sure that your data product is managed in line with expectations as enhancements, so that it can really drive organizational decision-making. So finally, I would like to share with you 2 use cases how we in Merck use data products and how they deliver value. So the first one is a life science commercial use case. Here, we are taking a number of different underlying data products, such as employee. We combine this then with customer product information and derive territory information for each of our employees in sales. This is then, so we're combining the employee information with customer, sales, and territory information. This then is put into personalized sales dashboard, where each salesperson or customer service representative can see information relevant for their customer circles, providing them insights to generate alerts like web visits, orders, workflow gaps. So for example, if an order is delayed, if something has gone wrong, has the customer in some form complained, or have they been looking at a number of different products on our website? This then helps them to see what products can I sell within my territory if I have a new customer. Our product landscape is very complex. We have over 600 different products. Not all of them are available, as you can imagine, in healthcare, life science, highly regulated in all markets. So it's key that our salespeople have an easy understanding of this. Who would be the relevant contact for my opportunities, right? Many organizations have contacts, and sales is a very personal business still. And then what are customers interested in but have not yet purchased? So this is kind of like a predictive next best sales action, where we look at a number of different factors to recommend leads and next best actions. This dashboard is highly used. So we have over 1,900 active users on a monthly basis and over 200,000 visits to this dashboard. And really it's utilizing all the different data, helps the salespeople to engage with customers. Users have research time and are much more effective. And this was really possible to put this really quickly together. I think it only took 2 months because we had all the underlying data in the different data domains nicely curated and easily accessible with good quality, so that the development team really didn't have to worry about any cleaning. They just had to worry about what are the sales needs to put this together and building the algorithm. The next one I would like to show is a healthcare dashboard. So in our healthcare sector, quality management is really key. This dashboard again takes one of our core master data products, employee, and combines it here with quality management information. This then helps manage deviations, complaints, change control processes. Very key in a healthcare situation. Provides information on any change control, deviations, and investigations. Gives salespeople and any customer representative or anyone involved in managing these products information on alerts and recalls. And here, really, the quality management system is an essential part of managing quality, ensuring end-to-end customer satisfaction. having higher quality data products really provides consistency, good data quality, without each use case having to create and cleanse the data separately. Currently, I'm responsible for the employee domain, looking at the provision of the data products there. We have, I think, around 10 different data products, which people often combine, as you just heard, with product data, with sales data, with finance data. And we currently have over 200 use cases and really a lot of active use in this. So really, as we wrap up, I want you to think about your relationship with data in your organization. Is it as easy as I've just described? Have you got data products already? Data isn't just about quantity. It's about quality, accessibility, reliability, and we need to make sure that we invest in the data to make it easier to get the information out. And we do this with good infrastructure, providing our people with systems to collect and store the data for data and analytics, making sure that they have a good data catalog, and also good processes and data governance to make sure we have data stewards and owners assigned to take good care of the data. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I think I have some time for questions.
Ivonne, thank you so much for that interesting session. It's really, for me, interesting to see how a global company is delivering these data products and so enabling the business to basically do their job in a data-driven way. There was one thing that came to my mind that is, let's say, the life cycle of a data product. So I can imagine that setting up, creating the product is one thing, but maintaining it and constantly adapting it to the needs of your user is a completely different ballgame. So maybe you can shed some light on this.
Yes. So already kind of like the life cycle starts as you've mentioned at the inception of the product. Here we already really engage with our end users. So broadly, if you have a global data product, like by example, the employee, I would engage with potential users across the business and gather their needs and their varied use cases. Once the data product is set up and people have access to it, then we have a process set up by which they can actively notify us of any quality concerns. We also, as I showed already, have quality measures in place. So we will measure certain quality, but quality is often reliant on the use case, right? So depending on what you use the data for, you might just use the data to create headcount metrics, or you might use the data to schedule your pipeline of research employees who will work on the lab next week, right? So the data quality of both those requirements is very different. So it might be good enough for the headcount, but not good enough for the other use. So we have actually a system by which users can notify us very easily of any questions and concerns in our data catalog. They can also, it's a very consumer-friendly data catalog if they have any questions. It's like a social media chat. They can engage in chats, might not be answered immediately, but a data owner and a data steward can contact them back. Again, in our data catalog, which is such a nice tool really for us, the end users, and it's open to absolutely everyone in Merck. So the end users first can find our data products. They can ask the people responsible any questions that they may have. But they can also make suggestions for improvements. Of course, not all improvements will be implemented, just like in any other company. We have resource constraints, so it is the data owner's responsibility then to prioritize those requests and make sure that they're aligned. But one of the things one of the joys of having a data product, that actually there is a management realization that you can't just get data from A to B, dump it, that it really actively needs to be managed. And we are very I'm very glad that we have good management that understands that we really need to invest resources in ensuring that we can not only bring data products to the organization, but actually have time and resources devoted to maintain them.
Yeah. There's maybe one last question. I think that's the question that everybody has on its mind, and that is, you talk about constraints, yeah? And in theory, I mean, that's how I know it from the day-to-day projects we run, is that you discuss about a data product, you discuss about a new opportunity, and then the discussion goes like that. Well, in theory, we have these data, but master data quality remains an issue for us. Yeah? How is that in your world? How do you start such a data product session or creation process? And do you stumble across the same problems?
Yes, of course. I think anyone who's ever worked with master data, right, has had these challenges. So again, I think it's really up to our data culture and our leadership that they know we need to invest in it. So much of the data doesn't need to be quality controlled because it never makes it out of the source system. It's not needed. But at the time when we decide that we have a request for a data product, data quality is really addressed very, very early on. We ask our stakeholders to be involved in the quality metrics. And then what we do is we set up automated systems to measure the quality, but we also go back and talk to original people, right? An employee, someone collects the original employee data, either when an employee joins or we have a merger, right? Often, and especially with mergers, the information comes in drips and drabs, right? We may have the employee, we may not have any other surrounding information. So we really also we go all the way back to the original entry staff. We train them and tell them, if you have a data product, then your responsibility is to make sure that you not just put a birthday in of the 1st of January 1900 if you don't know what the birthday is, or maybe a birthday of the 1st of January 2020, which then will show if we do a metrics of age of our employee. You know, we could have child labor if we take this seriously. So we really go all the way back in our quality processes to ensure we train the original people who enter the system and also instill pride, right? Often they're maybe not so high paid resources. They don't know what happens with this. They don't know what impact it has. So really also taking them into the process, getting the stewards and owners to tell them what actually happens and that they're a key part also changes their pride in the work that they do.
Thank you so much.
And then we have things like AI-controlled processes also, which help us catch a lot more than maybe someone could manually do. But it is a mammoth effort. So from thousands of data sets, we maybe make 10 data products.
Yvonne, thank you so much for shedding light on the job that you're doing. So it resonates very well with me, and it's super interesting to listen to you.